Hey, what's going on YouTube? Brian here. So last year I did a video at my home lab. I'll link it up there or over there, wherever it goes. All right, well, I'll link it up there somewhere about my home lab, and I've been asked recently, so what changes have you done recently to it? So I used to work at the service desk, and now I'm working doing some network security stuff and playing around with some other cool equipment. And so I figured let's do a quick tour of the home lab in 2021. All right, so I'm going to do it this way because it's going to be easier if I do it this way. So nothing fancy, just Netgear wireless access point. I think it's AC. I don't really use wireless that much, but hey, it is what it is. So right here, we just need to turn off. This is my Esxi server, and I'll show you the server a little bit more here in a sec. So as you can see, nothing fancy. Right over here, this system is just a Dell Inspiron, but it's great. I use it for radio programming and basic stuff. So if I need to get direct access to a device that, like if I need SSH console to it, or if I need a console access in my lab, I use this so I can go to any computer in my house and just RDP to it. It's a Windows box, nothing fancy. All right, so down here's where the magic actually happens. Let's see if I can get my butt down here. All right. So, looks like a little bit going on. So right over here is my ISP modem, and then this white box right here is my Fortigate Firewall. If you're not familiar with Fortigate, Fortinet is the actual main product supplier. It is a fantastic firewall. Does everything I need it to do. I can remote in and do everything. It's fantastic. Currently, I have it running like LACP, so that way it has a good connection into the switch, and it separates my entire network out for like guest purposes. I have it doing VLANs and all that fun stuff. Right below is the TP-Link switch. Let's see if I can get over there to it without all the cables in the way. Yeah. So it's the TP-Link switch that actually powers the main network whenever I'm not using any of the like Cisco labs going on, because as you can see, below is more of my Cisco lab environment, and that one is doing my VLANs and all that, and it has two different LACP links going, one to the firewall and one to the server. I don't know if you can hear that down there going, but I'll show that here in a sec. But it has two different links going, so I get really good throughput on it. This white cable just goes over to another computer that I have. Below it are my Cisco routers I use mainly for labs. They're older, not anything spectacular. I used them for when I was doing my CCNA, and there's some joy about putting in cables, hearing stuff click and come alive. Now that I'm going for my CCNP, that would be a lot of physical equipment, so I started doing some of the virtualization. Below there is my 48 port PoE switch, my Cisco switch. I don't really run it a lot because it's very noisy. Actually, all the equipment can get noisy if I have it all running. That's why I like the TP-Link switch for my actual home network use. Going down, just space leading back, and then a storage cabinet for any network cables and all that. Below that is my server, which is a Dell, what is it, R710, I think. I did make a lot of modifications on this when I first got this thing. When I first got it, I think it had like 32 gigs of RAM and a couple hard drives in it. Since last year, I added hard drives, added to the RAID controller, so now it's fully populated. I don't know if you can see all those lights on the camera. So each one has a hard drive in it. I think they're 500 gigabytes a piece. They're SAS drives. And I switched the operating system. I did have it running as a Windows Server 2019, but I switched over to VMware ESXi. I had to do the 6 point something because of the hardware limitations. I quickly learned that making changes to your server gets expensive. So when I added the hard drives, I didn't realize that the power supplies couldn't handle it. So I had to buy new power supplies for it. And then I added RAM to it. So currently it has 120 gigs of RAM on it. which is more than I actually need for the lab use. It's only on obviously whenever I'm doing major labs or videos, but it's a fantastic workhorse for everything I need. Below there's just more storage, the backup power supplies and stuff like that. But like I said, I really didn't do too much crazy stuff on the lab. I switched more to virtualization than anything. And as you can see right there's my FOSS-CAM. I don't know if you guys know about FOSS-CAM, but I don't recommend them for your network security. But they do have... It's great for practicing. So if you want to learn about SQL injections, Daniel Lowery with IT Pro TV did a great video on that. And I don't know if I can put a link in there, or I'll put it in the show notes or in the description or whatever you want to call it. Because he did a webinar on getting into one of those, and that's pretty intense. But yeah, that's a quick tour of the 2021 lab. Like I said, I went more for virtualization because I need more resources. I don't need as much physical equipment as I did previously. All right, hopefully you guys like. If you wouldn't mind, drop a like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, so if I do create new videos, you'll be first to see them. Thanks, guys.